Damn it, GPT-3, you told me that this was going to be an open software presentation. Take this guy out.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson. We're glad to see you. It's only Monday, but we're going to try and cram the nutritional content of an entire week of shows into the next hour. We've got Governor Ron DeSantis on new reports that the White House is secretly flying illegal aliens into the state of Florida because immigration is not about politics. Then we've got Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports, who is waging one of the great battles of all time against repulsive slurs from legacy media outlets that hate him. They're trying to destroy him. He is unbowed. Then we've got Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is one of the only lawmakers who bothered to visit the January 6th defendants who are rotting in the D.C. jail.
Also, again,
tell us what she just saw there.
Meet Tarzan Eugene.
We want to start tonight with Joe Biden, the isolated and deeply unpopular president of the United States.
I feel good about my chances at board.
Point, pretty much
even
no
talking some shit like this in front of a Sharps guy. Give me your Russian Sharps guy.
Poll has Biden at a terrifying 38% job approval rating. Biden's been in office less than a year, and already two-thirds of voters do not want him to run again. How unpopular is Joe Biden as of tonight?
Well, you come in. It's like we usually think about what's nice about those is like there's only like 1,000 people around. And it's like you don't. The problem is you don't bring in enough people to survive around here.
And that is the territory that Joe Biden
now occupies. And that's the problem for people who can't survive.
So it's genuinely bad.
The healthy, best fit of us pay for insurance by not using insurance. You should use insurance. Don't be humble. Get gloves, goggles. If they give you a fucking cup at the company, you take it home. You don't wear it unless you really, they might be fucking with you.
But if you think about it, that's not true. It can't really be true. Because voters knew perfectly well all along that Biden was doddering. They knew that when they elected him. It was obvious even then. In fact, it was part of his appeal. Biden was too slow to be threatening to anyone. This was not a guy who was going to be making a lot of sudden moves.
If you factor with the Sharps guy right there at the crossroads, like in the long game, the kid, he's going to be part of the crew.
So no, senility is not Joe Biden's main problem.
I hear you, Sharps. I hear you, Sharps. I feel you. I know.
Biden is afraid. You see it every time you look at him. He's overwhelmed. He's off balance. And that's why he's so often snappy and aggressive. Yep. Because underneath it all, he feels anxious.
Uncle Sam's house,
Biden isn't always sure where he is or what's happening around him.
It's all farm. You walk into a stone mill, you walk into a board factory, you walk into the White House, and you don't have time to do bills if you're cleaning. You got time to write bills, you got time to clean, right? You take on Manuela's job, save some money in the shop. Then make money, you save money.
And you saw it so clearly last week. Our own Peter Doocy asked
anytime
about the
you
White House
put into a function where the game isn't to turn the resource out of the ground or reciprocal and efficient, some company, a farm, maybe there's some nutrient trick, maybe there's some way you're looking at the bank on the ground for a soil turnover because numbers work that way in the stock market. We'll put you on a Zillow pillow. Location, X, Y, Z. And then you have this conversation. It's the constant teaching of dumb preachers. You have this in the AR, whatever, and there's a civilian model to it. Your job is to do the fucking civilian model. There is, 1 million national, something in the Army or something like 1 million of them. There are how many people in America at different demographics that do not start at 18 when you factor Common Core. Common Core would be the what? ASVAB. It's the one test, regardless you come from California, New York, you do simultaneously, regardless of what barracks and branch you run into.
The Trafalgar Group shows that fully two-thirds of the country, that's a majority of Democrats as well as, of course, a majority of Republicans, believe that idea is nuts because it obviously is nuts.
That'd be the law. You tell an immigrant or anybody, I am your master mason day, you will do these things, or...
He's been in politics for more than 50 years, and at this point, if nothing else, he's got a pretty good
it would be your job. If you go over these numbers inside of the training phase, if you go outside of these numbers inside the turn phase, and that rule doesn't stop because you're a 10-year vet.
Unfortunately, Joe Biden is no longer in charge.
He never did. You still had common rules, don't shoot anybody in town, and make sure you come into work, nobody rolls in the door with an AK-47 and wipe out everybody going postal.
So after that moment, they hauled Joe Biden
because they don't fucking know. They're not part of the
And the next thing you know, Biden is out there
I
dutifully
didn't know
repeating their
888
lunatic slogans.
on ones and
Watch
zeros
this.
of this data compression.
If in fact,
So you put it in
because of
camera.
the
You'd say,
outrageous
I
behavior
robot
of the
that
last
thing, and it's
administration,
going to be an autonomous
you
program.
coming
Anybody
across
could
border,
go back
whether
and
it's legal or illegal,
So
and you
when you're
lost your
tracking a
child.
panda in the San Francisco Zoo, what
lost
do
your
you do it
child.
for? What's
It's
the
gone.
animal behavioral psychology
You deserve
on
some kind of
equivalent
compensation, no matter what the
degrees in
circumstances. What that will be,
California
I have
to
no
Idaho?
idea.
When I
idea.
tested 12th grader out of one college, and the name
See
comes
that?
on a resume
The
because
narrowed
out of
eyes, the finger
this
pointing, jabbing in
area
your face. Notice how
in
angry Biden was
Nebraska,
in that
if
clip.
they were spiking
This
out
is
some
not a man
numbers of
who's in
students or
control,
things
not of
that
his own
had some
emotions,
difference, I'd
obviously,
want to
but
know
also not of the
positive index
administration
inside of there.
supposedly
What are they
runs.
doing?
The
And can I
ideologues
control
are
that
in
function to
control,
do
and there's a
something
huge
beneficial?
problem for the rest of
And
us.
that's how energy works.
It's a
Even
problem
if it's
because
negative
ideologues have
energy,
no interest in
it's
the
a
lives
draw.
of actual
It's a
human
vacuum.
beings.
The negative is a
Ideologues care
biased
only
actual
about their
term to what
theories,
goes on
about
here.
the
And then you
bright
get
new
into some
future
of this
they're
stuff
building.
about what it
Human
does.
beings
Well, the
are
real
just speed
conversation
bumps
starts
on the
about
way to
electrons
utopia.
in
So not
third
surprisingly,
grade
when ideologues
after
take
they
over
understand
society, any
grapes and
society, in
going
any
outside
country, at
playing
any
sand,
point
yeah,
throughout
eating
history,
bugs.
life always gets
And then
much
you have to think of
worse
how far
for
we
most
are
people.
far in that. I mean, there's
Borders
14-year-olds
fall,
with world
crime
records of
rises,
fusion,
schools collapse,
obviously
inflation gets out of
gauging
control. Suddenly
success
there are
in the
drug addicts living in
marshmallow
tent
of
cities
if
in your
I
neighborhood, screaming
dissect
at your
that
kids as
acid
you walk
marshmallow,
by.
what was that kid's
Quality
life?
of life falls off
It
a
is a
cliff.
narrative.
It's
It is
intolerable for most
and we could just stay in that.
But the ideologues
But
don't
people
care
want the
because
next
they're
Pulitzer
completely
Prize of
focused on
10
the
different
shiny new
versions of
society they're
fuck.
constructing.
On the other side of that,
Nothing
keep
else
one
matters.
from the
Perfection
tomb and
is
say
always
any
just around
college
the
you're seeking.
corner.
I
As soon as we get
understand.
rid of
That's
all
a
these
vote
white
that comes
men,
into
everything
college.
will be
Do we
great.
put in a new change in
They
the
say
syllabus?
that,
Teaches
and
all
they
the
really
numbers,
believe
checked
it.
it off the list.
Meanwhile,
Has some meaning,
inevitably, the
keeps close to
actual
what we
physical
keep is on the
world
system.
around them,
We can
the world
ask the
rest of us
people.
inhabit
And here's that
day-to-day,
book. Thought it was a good
crumbles
thing.
at high
Your kids
speed.
don't.
And you're
Most
seeing
kids
it now
don't usually read it.
everywhere.
Maybe your kids
Just
did read it
today,
already.
in
That's
the face
fine.
of skyrocketing
But
energy
it'll be
prices, the
good.
White House announced
You know,
it may
and you
shut
would say
down yet another
that would be the
pipeline.
one. We want to integrate that
First
into
it
a
was
lot
Keystone
of
XL that
when they're
happened
doing
immediately.
that, of
This
what
time,
grade
the
that
Biden
seems
administration would like
appropriate
to close
for,
what's called the
of
Line
when you
5
want them to see
pipeline.
that
You may
because
not
they
have
have
heard
C++
of that, but it's vital
return
to
to
this
it. It
country.
could come around.
The pipeline moves
Probably
more than
not.
500,000 barrels
But
of
if
desperately
it
needed
does,
energy every day
because it
from
would
Canada
have
to
it
Michigan.
100% at that point
Shut
in time.
that down?
They would have some kind
Wait to
of
see what
registered
happens to
function
gas
of release
prices.
how to handle the
They're already at
situation.
record highs.
And we do this all
So
the
if
time
you're
with kids
not
teaching
rich,
911
this
and
is
doing it
going
in
to
schools
make
and
your
doing that.
life
Obviously, it breaks
much
the rules.
worse.
That is an
Everyone
experiment,
knows it.
kid. That is
So
a
no
law.
normal
What did we learn
administration would
from
even
this? Can
consider
we go back
doing
over
something
that?
like
Test their
this at a
memory,
moment
test their
like this. Shutting down a
some kind of fun,
pipeline in
all
the middle
kinds
of
of
an
fun
energy
stuff.
crisis?
Z-Coin laying
No,
around
it's too
everywhere at
destructive.
the beaten tree.
But here's
Give
the
you a
thing.
pinata.
From an ideologue's perspective, destruction
I
is
hate
the
to bring that
whole
up to you on a
point.
topic, but there we are.
Burn
I could
down
put that
Wendy's,
momentum
loot
in there.
Macy's,
Use that
defund
wording.
the police,
Say it from any
close
other
the
set.
schools, shut down the
It wouldn't
energy
matter
grid,
who was in
tear it all down.
It wouldn't matter. You don't
Scrape
need to turn
the
on
pad
Senate.
so we
Just
can
put a
put up
camera in it.
something
Make sure
new
that inside
and
of there
perfect.
somebody can actually
As
say,
they often put it,
"Oh, the overhead
build
count and
back
vote in
better.
there didn't actually go through the censor."
The problem with thinking like
And if
this,
I
there are
can't
many
control that, and you
problems.
can
The
say
core
it is or
problem
you can say it's
tend to
not, but if
ignore
I
the
can't
suffering of
actually
people who
physically
still
watch
lived
the
in your
zeros
country
and ones that
pre-utopia.
you say are
You
mechanically
don't care
based in
about them,
this
and they know
manual,
you don't care
mechanics
about them.
books,
That
like
dynamic
these
is a
bills should
huge
take
problem.
this
It makes
long
societies, particularly
because
supposedly
clay
democratic
pot
societies,
with water pumping
very
out of
vulnerable.
it make a vote
Wise leaders
move.
understand this, so they are very careful to
That
pretend
is how
they
this
care.
moves. And that's what
But not
meat would be on the
childish
bone. You
ideologues.
can't theoretically
Childish
say that
ideologues
there's
just
other
laugh
meats on the
in the
bones
face
or
of yourself.
timeline. Somebody's
Here's
off the
Jennifer
farm and
Granholm,
off the
for
revision.
example,
I
our
will
energy
throw your
secretary,
ass under the bus.
snickering
Unless
about
it was
rising
some
gas
kind of
prices.
mob bullshit,
What
yakuza
is the
fucking
Granholm
horseshit,
plan
running some
to
drugs and
increase
dead
oil
bodies. Why would you
production
hold
in
it close to
America?
chest?
Oh my God, that is hilarious. Would
You
that
know,
I
of course,
had
it's
the
always the
magic
nuclear
wand on
poison
this.
that goes in the Hurricane Baba Cloud radar effect, the early warning signals going
Doing
off.
something
But just,
to save middle-class Americans
I mean,
from
it's just
rising
inherent
energy
in the
prices,
nature of
quote,
being around a
that
boss.
is
And
hilarious,
points do, they
says
own
the
big things,
energy
but they're still a
secretary.
person.
You
You
can just
have to
imagine
expect
Louis
them to maintain
XVI
control of
talking
the
like this
company
right before the
because
French Revolution.
when you kind of tear
It
them
does
down,
make you
like
wonder
I've done
how
before,
long this can continue.
you know, you try to
Hey, Sean Hannity
always
here.
keep the
Hey,
crew in
click
mind.
here
sure to
I usually do,
subscribe
but I'll
to
be like,
Fox
if
News
it goes
YouTube
down,
page
tilt
and
the
catch
moose
our
coming
hottest
for me.
interviews
It may
and most
sound like
compelling
the same
analysis.
militia, but be
You
careful.
will not get it anywhere else.
Well, a few more points, but